The last one's Tractor Cannon from Destiny. Still one of the best guns in that game.
Most
that entire
hilarious
franchise.
Gun. I fucking love that gun. Chris would get annoyed when we would play.
Because you would laugh every time, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you would shoot it.
It wasn't a laugh. Mayhem. It was a giggle.
Yeah, no.
It was a giggle every time.
It made me laugh. I didn't even use my super at all in Mayhem. I would just run around with Tractor Cannon and ruin people's day.
Yeah, and he would giggle every time.
That's awesome.
Dude, I still love Tractor Cannon. I wish Destiny 2 was better. Such a great game, but a terrible everything else.
If you die an early death, I'm going to put that on your tombstone. I wish
What?
Destiny 2 was
I wish
better.
Destiny
Chris
2 was
Rodriguez.
I do, man.
This is Twin Stick Radio, episode 66 for the week of April 25th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Trey Higgins. I'm joined by Chris Rodriguez.
Hello.
And Justin T. Lopez.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Get to see Endgame tonight. So that's exciting.
Yeah. I saw it on Tuesday.
Oh, I thought you
know.
saw it last night.
No, I saw it on Tuesday.
Oh, well, I would have asked about it yesterday.
Can you say that?
I mean, they don't know how I saw it on Tuesday.
He could have gone. He could have gone to the premiere.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Robert
I'm
Downey
glad-
Jr. himself invited me to
Right.
the red carpet,
That's not
purple
true.
carpet event.
I'm glad
in New York City.
I'm glad you were able to make it back so
Why
quick.
was it purple?
Yeah, I
you
know. Well, I think literally it was a purple carpet.
Why was
was.
it purple?
Because of Thanos.
I don't
Thanos is
understand.
purple.
I understand that, but he's not like the main thing.
Someone
You need to be
argue.
real
Someone
careful
argue.
because I've told you a lot about this movie.
Sure,
And I know nothing.
I just don't get it.
Honestly, most of you who are listening to this will probably have seen the movie by the time that this podcast posts. But those of you that maybe watched the first and second trailer, maybe watched the scene with Thor and Captain Marvel that they released early, that's about all you should watch before you see this movie. Because within the first 15 minutes, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like it was so different than I expected. And then it sort of comes back around to exactly what I expected. And it was awesome. It was an awesome experience because I had no idea what I was walking into.
I'm so excited.
So,
And those of you looking more forward to Godzilla, welcome to the club.
yeah.
Like I said, I've heard a lot of people
we have
saying
4
that.
chairs. We suspect that we probably have too many.
Oh man, that fucking movie looks awesome.
It looks pretty cool. Initially, whenever they started the whole King Kong Godzilla thing.
I don't think
they're
this
the
is
same.
part of that.
Is this not?
crossover.
No, this Godzilla is the one that started back like in 2012. That movie.
Yeah, with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
not the
sequel to-
same.
Is
that's
that not?
the same.
Is that not this King Kong?
I don't think it is. I think
King
that
Kong? What the hell are you talking about?
end of
Kong
the-
Skull Island.
at the end of Kong
it
Skull
reveals that it's basically tying into all the other like kaiju's and stuff like Mothra and
I
they're
don't
like
think it's
going
the
in an
same
ancient
universe.
ruin on Skull Island, and they see like carvings of Godzilla and Mothra.
yeah.
Oh,
and,
that's
and it
cool.
ends with the Godzilla like screech.
I don't think it's the same universe.
I don't think it is either.
That
because-
makes me enjoy it more.
yeah.
because I'm going to be honest
Did you
with
not
you.
Skull Island?
No, I like Skull Island, but I couldn't
just
picture
very
that
tonally
Kong.
different.
Yeah, I couldn't picture that Kong in
Well,
this Godzilla.
that was going to be my point. Is that if that Kong exists as one of these titans, that Kong's fucked.
Yeah.
Like watch this new trailer, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That scene where Godzilla and not Rodan but Rithra are just like charging at each other. Kong would be fucked, like hard.
He just gets squished in the middle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like Kong can climb the Empire State Building. Godzilla can sit on it.
Exactly. It's like
Ugh.
Maybe he shouldn't. I think
it looks
Godzilla's kind of kinky.
It looks super fucking cool. It's the reason Pacific Rim was good. It's just giant fucking things beating the shit out of each other.
Who doesn't love that?
It's true.
It's kind of like the people that try to argue with you that like Jurassic Park hasn't been good since The Lost World. And it's like, okay, yes, like if you walk into a movie like a Jurassic Park movie expecting a really strong plot and an interesting scientific story, you're really not going to get that. But if you walk in expecting dinosaurs to beat the shit out of each other and people, you're getting exactly that. And how many movies do we get a year with dinosaurs beating the shit out of each other?
true.
Right.
None. So you know what? Maybe lower your expectations for what a Jurassic Park movie should be.
I'm not going to see Chris Pratt Jurassic Park expecting, like Steven Spielberg quality.
I'm not expecting a remake of the original movie. I'm expecting to see a T-Rex eviscerate a person because, like, that is all I need from life.
Right.
Which is why Godzilla was cool, because you got really cool cinematography, somewhat cool of a story, and Godzilla. giant fucking lizard. That
But
can
even like the
fucking
bad
spout.
Godzillas are good. Like the 1999 Godzilla is still fun to watch because it's a giant lizard.
Are you talking the one with Matthew Broderick?
Yep.
Oh my God, that one's terrible, Trey.
It's terrible.
The one where he's more of like a lizard instead of a
no,
giant.
he's more like a T-Rex.
No, he looked like I thought he looked like a lizard.
He looks like a dinosaur.
No, I thought he looked like those little green lizards that live outside your front door.
Well, he is a Komodo dragon. I mean,
That's right. Yeah.
It's not a great movie. Not saying anything about the plot, the acting, but watching fucking Godzilla walking down the street and the baby Godzilla raptor is eating everyone. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, it's Ferris. Ferris Bueller's in it.
oh yeah.
If you guys haven't listened to us before, we are a podcast about video games. We record weekly, and lately we've been up on Sunday. We start the show the same segment every single week. The news. Except my phone's like, nope, we're not doing the news yet.
Just saying, it's a good day. It'd be ready for people on their commute on Monday.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's a good day.
I suspect that even if it comes out on Fridays, most people don't listen to it on Mondays anyways, unless they're like teenagers and they have weekend chores they need to do.
I don't think teenagers would listen to podcasts during their weekend
That's
chores.
what I did when I was a teenager. Because I would have like,
And now he's here.
Yeah, but
I would have like 3 hours of chores every weekend. And
what would I do in my chore? What would I do while I was doing my chores? Probably listen to Guns N' Roses' "Appetite for Destruction."
I don't listen to music.
And,
Anyway,
now you're here.
I just did my chores. And
exactly.
I did my chores and hated my life.
Yeah.
Like any other teenager.
We have a short news segment this week, but some interesting stuff. First up, Persona 5 Royal. It's really hard not to say Royale. Has been announced. The game appears to be a re-release of Persona 5 that adds in a new semester for players to play through, as well as a new member of the Phantom Thieves gang. Royal was given a 2019 release window in Japan, but appears to be hitting the States in 2020. Atlas has promised to provide more information on May 9th. Pretty rad. I'm excited for it. I hope that there's like a DLC version and I don't have to rebuy the game.
Sure. I always wonder why it takes Japanese companies so long to localize games.
Well, with Persona, this is probably my bias showing because I don't play a lot of like Japanese games, and so it's this might not actually be true to most people, but I feel like the localization is really good. That the way that they take their time in making everything English and making sure the voice actors are doing a good job. It never feels rushed. It doesn't really have any of like those Kingdom Hearts like sort of awkward moments in it. Like it feels like the localization team for Atlas does a really, really good job making sure that it doesn't feel.
Yeah, but it's still real Japanese. Like it's still real.
I'm
still real anime.
What do you want them to whitewash it?
I'm not denying that, but like but in terms of like other Japanese games that have come out and had American voice actors dub over Japanese things.
You got Kingdom Hearts with like its long pauses between like sentences because the scene goes on for another 2 minutes.
Sure, and that's the thing is like that just should have been fixed. But like Persona, there's no
There's no cutscenes, right?
Yeah, well, there is, but it's all animated. Yeah. So it's not. It's I'm not saying animation is not hard, but like compared to 3D animation, I figured it'd be harder, but it's not also, as hard.
But it's also like a lot of it is conversation between characters.
Yeah, so the mouth moving in a Persona game, I don't need the mouth to match up with the English voice acting because it's just a static thing happening. I don't need that to happen. So I just wondered, Persona in particular, I wonder why it takes so long. Like Kingdom Hearts, I get it. Like you've got to change. It's in 3D. You've got to change the way their lips are moving and shit like that to match. But in a game like Persona that's loosely 2D, I don't understand why it takes so long. But hey, I'm down.
The localization, they do a good job on it. Yeah. But it sounds like it's going to be late Japan. And then
late
2019 for Japan and early 2020 for
April
the US.
2020. Same month as the other one. Or May. When was the other one? Was it April or May?
I think it was April,
right?
From what I remember. All right. These last 3 news articles are from Forbes because they're just kind of things that I either forgot to put on there or things that I remembered. Well, this one's from Forbes. The other ones are from other places. I don't know what my problem is today. From Forbes, yesterday was the red wedding of news for Anthem. While an update brought some quality of life changes, some buffs, and a new stronghold, BioWare finally said what we all knew was coming, but perhaps didn't want to believe. The entire Anthem roadmap is now delayed. BioWare delivered on practically nothing that was supposed to get here in April other than yesterday's stronghold and a live event or 2, but now everything else that fans assumed would not be crammed into the final week of the month has indeed been delayed. That would be things like the Mastery System, guilds, leaderboards, various pre-play events, more legendary missions, and also May's Cataclysm, which BioWare will talk about in May. But almost certainly won't be out next month. There's no revised roadmap. There are no new dates or months attached to any of these items. Only a statement from BioWare that their mistake was talking about some things too soon, and that they'd wait to reveal stuff closer to when it was actually ready going forward.
Typical BioWare.
Perhaps most biting was the section about the loot in the update post, namely that BioWare knows that loot and progression are a problem, and they're working on fixes, yet they have nothing to announce on the topic. No drop rate increases, no additional sources of legendaries, no word on new or missing items, and again, no promised dates for potential upcoming changes.
The most embarrassing thing is they did fix it. It was fixed twice.
Right, by accident.
And can they just not recreate the fucking accident that they pulled every time they update the game?
Well, that's the thing that I don't understand. It's like, it's not like they're looking at their game and they're just like, why do people not enjoy this? You know, it's very clear that like the loot system is just, it's fucked. So why can't they just fix it?
It's not that it's fucked. It's
unbalanced. It is.
Yes.
It is all over the place.
Yeah, like it works like it's supposed to.
It seems like a relatively easy fix. I don't know about
game
design.
They fix it every time. They fixed it the first 2 times they updated the game.
Right.
So apparently it is a relatively easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're just having a problem recreating the fuck up that keeps happening when they update the game. Or just I'm starting to think they just don't get it, because
I think they don't get it.
A week ago they put out a job listing for a loot expert in gaming, and it's like, you don't have to get
your community is telling you exactly what they want.
Right. And also you've got the dude who created Loot 2.0 creating Reddit posts that are pages and pages long telling you how to fix it. You don't need to hire somebody.
Well, and then you have good examples like Division 2 out right now that's like, this loot system, people really enjoy it. Or, you know, even like Borderlands, you know, like shower people with loot and then, I mean, let them fuck around with the random rolls.
After 10 years, I finally figured out about like what weapon parts mean in Borderlands 2 and how that changes your drops. Mind you, this has been things that people have known about for forever, but I just learned about it. And it suddenly was like, okay, like now I get why they shower you with loot, but also I'm going to be looking real hard for a pistol with a Torgue grip, you know? Yep. Like it's something just as silly as that, and it's a little thing. Like the changes that it does to how my guns perform is like minuscule, so tiny, but it's enough to encourage people still. Like Jolt's dude is a guy I've been watching on YouTube, the guy that did he decoded the Twitch image for Borderlands 3 about the Destroyer and the first Vault Hunter. I've been watching his content. He literally only plays that game. He live streams it 5 days a week, has been playing it for like 8 years, and all he does is just go and look for the best drops. And there's a community of people that are all like that just play Borderlands. Anthem needs that.
Got to be miserable.
No,
there's no way.
You should watch his stuff, because he has so much fun doing it.
That's intense.
He still freaks out when he gets a really good drop, and it's like, wow,
it's called acting.
And he's like such like he's so much like an us nerd.
Sure,
it feels genuine.
Yeah,
like it feels like if he was acting,
I get it. But no. There's no way. Borderlands 2 came out in what, 2011, 2012?
I think it was 2012.
Yeah, dude. For 6 years now, he's been playing, or 7 years, he's been playing the same game, and he's enjoying it 5 days a week. There's no way.
Whatever keeps the lights on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's it. That's.
I think he has fun, and also
I'm sure he does.
He's the kind of person that like knows all the skips and like grenade jumps and rocket jumps.
Sure, yeah.
And so it feels like he takes a lot of pride when he pulls off a really interesting skip.
I mean, you look at people who do like the speed runs, like they play the same thing over and over and over again just to shave off like a second of time. But they still enjoy it.
But looping that back to Anthem, sorry, I didn't mean to like get us sidetracked. But looping that back to Anthem, it's like it's something as simple as that. Like, and they already have that system with the way that the different modifications on the weapon work. It's like that already exists. So what's the harm in giving people what they want? Like, I feel like you have to stubbornly ignore what the community wants in order to keep letting the game perform like this.
Sure. I mean, I don't understand it either. Like we were saying before the podcast, it's, you know, sure, the community around Anthem just sucks, because they're just being a bunch of fucking asshats about everything. Instead of being supportive, they're just being assholes. But the game, I said it and I'll die on this hill. That game is a great fucking game. Like, it is a shit ton of fun. It never felt like it got boring or old. The only thing it's the same reason we stopped playing Destiny is like, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. There's nothing, not necessarily nothing to do. There's nothing to go for. There's no progression.
Which is all you need to have nothing to do with it.
Literally, yeah, that's the whole thing is like, you can give me nothing to do all day long, And as long as I feel like I'm progressing as I'm doing that nothing, you got me sold. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, and granted, this is BioWare's first outing for a loot-based MMO type game, but it's not that different than a level 1 to 30 Mass Effect game. It's just not. You just consistently keep people progressing because you've got a number, and as long as that number is going up, no matter what they're doing, you're doing something right. And it's like this: the development team is just, I don't know. I don't know what they're just dense, or I don't know. I don't get it.
I feel like it's either they completely don't understand, or they're stubbornly sticking to their guns because they think they know better than the community.
I think maybe especially after the first Forbes article where it's like, no, you cannot reference Destiny. We are not going to compare ourselves to Destiny. It's like, but you should compare yourself to Destiny because they made all the mistakes that you shouldn't be making. And since you didn't reference yourself to Destiny, now you're making those same mistakes. Right. And it's that management team that I feel is still super stubborn about this game, and it's just fucking ridiculous.
Well, even the people who are playing on the stream and kind of giving people like updates, I guess. You know, people were asking questions, and you know, specifically about like loot, and you know, what are these progression? How is everything coming on these things that we care about? And they got like annoyed that no one was asking about the level design of this particular like area or this level. Like no one was asking them the questions that they wanted to talk about. And they got visibly annoyed.
The stream before this one, this is how long that's been since streams. The stream before this last one, or maybe the stream before that, the guy who came up with Loot 2.0 for Diablo wrote that Reddit article. And in chat, somebody asked about it. And Ben Irving, one of the community managers, was like, it's like they asked a question like, what do you think about the Loot 2.0 Reddit post? And he goes, yeah, I read it. Done. What? What do you mean? Yeah, I read it.
It's like they weren't even doing a good job at deflecting. Like
it's just I don't know what's up with that development team, man. I mean, they've got it all backwards.
If the Kotaku article about all that was right, I can sort of see like. I could see why BioWare Austin would be really frustrated about this and not wanting to talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because they were given a shit basket of eggs that they now have to like make people love. Again, it's a good game, but there's a lot of things wrong with it. And there were things wrong with it that they tried to fix preemptively that they couldn't fix. Now they're stuck with a launched game, and it's like, how do you balance what the game is versus what it should be?
Sure.
And so I can imagine they're having a lot of long nights there, being really frustrated with a product they didn't develop. But at the same time, like, no one's forcing you to do a live stream every week.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. Don't do it. If
EA,
you like,
EA might be. We don't know. Somebody might be forcing them to do something.
I mean, if I were them, I would have totally gone on the subreddit and said, "Hey, the community's like really hot right now. Honestly, like we don't have anything to show you in a live stream." And I'm just assuming that this is BioWare choosing to do this. We're going to take a little bit of a hiatus. We're going to come back on this day, and this is when we're going to spend the time between now and then just sort of figuring out things. That way, we can come back to you and actually have dialogue with you. And not have to.
Sure, but that would also mean that their management needs to know what they're doing.
Right.
And that's true. And they don't. It's clear they don't.
Right. But like getting on the stream every week with your management not knowing what they're doing isn't any more helpful than taking a break and your management not knowing what they're doing.
It seems like they're just afraid. I think they have this idea of if we say nothing, if we leave this silence, then it's all just going to fester. So they're thinking that these streams are helping. It's like you can have communication by being open about like, hey, we don't have anything to show you right now.
Sure.
You know, like that is more than enough.
That's better than making a stream where you guys just look fucking like dumbasses on stream.
Yeah. I am glad that for the most part the internet as a whole isn't putting all of this on EA like I thought they would. You know, like I think a lot of them are seeing that a lot of this is like BioWare's
that's
kind of
because
doing.
EA made Apex.
Which, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also a thing too where it's like at this point. Destiny was sort of in the same boat, right? Where you sort of have a struggle between what Activision wants and what Bungie is. Bungie can't ever put out a game on time. They can't ever. They have to within a year of release. They have to completely redevelop their game.
Sure.
They've always been like that, and it wasn't any different with Destiny. But you also now have a publisher that's like, "Hey, you don't own our most important IP. You need to put something out there."
Sure.
And I think EA and BioWare are in that same position. But the thing about Bungie was that the second that they released their crap game, because there is an argument for Destiny 1 being crap at launch. The second they released their crap game,
it was crap at launch.
I just loved it so much.
Yeah, sure.
I
Same
probably
here.
loved Destiny more during that first year than I've loved.
You
it
just
any
said what
year since.
you just said what you're putting on my tombstone.
Yeah.
I love Destiny 2, but I fucking hate that game.
But with Bungie, like they did a really good job of sort of taking that first year to sort of reevaluate and change the game.
Sure.
And so yeah, they also had a crap basket of eggs, but they were
Sure.
able to turn it around. And so I think at this point, even if Anthem is what it is because of EA, it's how BioWare's handling that problem afterwards.
Sure.
That's the problem, and it's hard to separate that.
Sure.
Or it's hard to like include EA on that.
And again, I don't think it is EA, to be completely honest with you. After the Forbes article and after everything that's been going on, I think it's 100% management at BioWare, because like you said, you referenced Destiny, but you also we can reference Division. Division in the first year was just not that great, and then a year later, when 1.8 came out, it just completely changed the game, and it was one of the best looter shooters out there until Division 2 came out, until Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, man. It's one of those things that's like, if BioWare has the capital, I think breaking away from EA might be a good idea. But I just don't think if BioWare broke away from EA, I think it would just crumble as a studio.
If their management can't even handle a project, there's a good chance they probably can't handle financials either.
And that's the thing is like, I don't know, man. Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, has it been this way since Baldur's Gate? Has it been this way since PlayStation 2?
Well, from the Kotaku article, it very much feels like that's kind of how it's always been.
Yeah, but
they specifically talk about BioWare Magic being a thing where like all their games come together in like the last 6 months of development.
But then that's the thing is like, how do you? I guess it's luck then, right? How do you make so many? Like just take the BioWare pantheon of games.
Well,
Baldur's Gate, KOTOR, Jade Empire, Mass Effect, Dragon Age. Hell, even Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood on the fucking DS was a great game.
Yeah, it was. Sincerely, it was. It's
yes,
not even a joke.
I'm not kidding. It's a turn-based action RPG with Sonic and gang. It was great.
It was really good. It sounds so stupid, but like
it sounds out
there.
So
you've got this pantheon of games all the way up to Dragon Age Inquisition, and then 4 years after that we have Anthem, and it's like, Is that when the luck jar finally ran out? You know what I mean?
No, but it was different because back when they were sort of starting up their shit, they were defining a genre that didn't really exist. Like up until that point, RPGs all came from Japan. Western RPGs weren't really popular
with the exception of the Elder Scrolls series, but that was a PC based.
Yeah, but even then, like, if you look back at Baldur's Gate, like Elder Scrolls was happening around the same time.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe a little bit earlier, but not by like a decade or anything. And so you look at them as a studio, they were defining a genre, but not only that, they were sort of offering a depth of gameplay that didn't really exist. So I think that you can go back and play those games and sort of look over their flaws a little bit. And you also see a company that even with Mass Effect Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda is a good BioWare game. It's not better than Inquisition.
No.
But it's very much with each one of their games.
Sure.
You can see them learning from themselves and adapting. And so they're building on the same thing. I think the problem with Anthem is that it's a game that's in a genre that has already been defined by a lot of better games, and it's also something that they haven't really worked on. If they continued only working on these games for the next 10 years, I believe without a shadow of doubt that they would be leading the industry.
Sure, yeah.
But BioWare's been making the same games for 15 years.
Yeah, that kind of backs up my theory of like most game developers, I feel like they're just stubborn. Like they don't want to learn from their peers, The Forbes article again is a perfect example. We're not going to compare ourselves to Destiny, but who did compare themselves to other looter shooters? Massive, and look what they did. Mm-hmm. They improved their game and made it 1,000 times better, and now they're doing it again with a second one. Bungie did the same thing. Bungie looked at MMOs because I always thought Destiny 1, the idea of everything in Destiny 1, how you progress, was kind of convoluted. But then when Destiny 2 first launched, it's like, I can go do whatever I want and I level. Like, that's perfect. Do I get the look of high-end gear if I don't go do the raid? No, but I can hit level, was it 400 at the beginning of Destiny 2? I don't remember. 300? I can hit that number.
Like 305, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I can hit that number, but I just won't look like it because I didn't go do the raid. But I can still hit the number. Yeah. It'll take longer, but I can still hit it. And it's like, I don't know.
I mean, you look at all of the best games of this generation, and they're all games that learned from other games. Like, no one is creating anything in a vacuum, and taking someone else's work and sort of applying your own ideas to it. It's not a bad thing to do. I mean, we play D&D every week, and the best DMs are people that take things from the world that they love and they adapt it for their own game. No one here is like most DMs aren't telling an original story that they thought of on their own. It might have original elements to it, but it's like, you know, you just look at story, or you look at DMs talking about it on the internet, and it's like, no, I really love this Korean film, so I took the plot from this film and I made it a story in my game, and my players loved it. And it's like, yeah, because players don't really care. None of us are out there looking for originality.
Sure.
We're looking for you to make something that we love, and if that means adopting things from other people, there's no shame in that.
Yeah, I mean, look at freaking like Skyrim. Skyrim could come out a million different times and people still buy it.
Well, the Elder Scroll series is the same story every single time.
But like, well, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to recreate the wheel.
Well, of course
as long as the wheel's good.
Yeah, you're the chosen one, and you're going to save the world.
Yeah.
Cool. Elder Scrolls 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Also Blades.
And probably 6.
And probably 6. Yeah, I mean 100%. Not Elder Scrolls Online, surprisingly.
Did I really close out the wrong thing? That's annoying. All right, next up. With nearly this is from Gamnesia. With nearly 2 million more units shipped over the past 3 months, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate now stands at 13.81 million units sold. That number is impressive by itself, but it's even more impressive in context. As pointed out by Stealth on Twitter, this means Ultimate has officially passed Super Smash Bros. Brawl, 13.30 million units sold per Nintendo, as the top-selling game in the franchise. The possible exception to this would be if you consider the Wii U and 3DS iterations to be one game. Seeing as Brawl was previously the highest selling fighting game of any franchise, this also gives Ultimate the title as the most popular fighter. With just 4 months under its belt, that's an unbelievably fast start.
I'm sorry.
Best fighter
ever?
Best sold fighting game of all time.
Ever. That has sold more than Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Yep. I don't believe that for a second.
That's insane.
I can't believe that for a second.
I mean,
this has been reported in a bunch of different places. I didn't just choose a random article.
No, I'm not. I just
13 million units. You think Mortal Kombat sold 13 million units?
I would assume Street Fighter would have.
Right. One of those like classic, like this is the epitome of like fighting
Well,
game.
no, I take that back. Because Street Fighter 2 has like 9 different versions, and I'm sure each one of them is considered different. Turbo's different.
Well, if they're considering the Wii U.
Well, that's the thing. It might be higher if you combine the Wii U and 3DS, but I don't think Nintendo's ever released an official number on that.
Because I doubt Street Fighter 5 or 4 sold more than that.
And
I would have thought, though, Mortal Kombat 10 might have gotten close to that, but maybe not.
But, I mean, the thing about Smash Brothers that lends itself to being the top selling game, even Brawl, which was the Wii version.
Oh, well, that's easy to tell. Like,
but
how many you say 13?
13.3.
So everybody who owns a Switch owns Smash Brothers. That's not
13.81.
Sure. So roughly everybody who owns a Switch owns Smash Brothers, which is not surprising at all.
Oh no, I don't think that's surprising either. But it's also the fact that like
that's why it's up there.
But also in terms of fighting games, like Smash Brothers is way more accessible than any other fighting game.
Sure.
Like a person that's good at the game can play a person that's bad at the game, and if you have the right settings on, the person that's bad at the game can kind of keep up.
Or
whereas
you can just
like
play Bowser and just cheat
and just grab people and
Whereas like
do the spinny thing and then butt slam, because that's all Trey did. He spun and he butt slammed. You can't block the butt slam.
You can roll out of the way.
You can't get mad at me because I had a good strategy. Anyway,
wasn't a good strategy.
But it's like when we were playing Injustice on the stream, like when we first started doing twin stick streams, right? Like you weren't very good at it, but within like an hour of us playing, you sort of picked it up. Blake was already good at it, and in my time playing the game, I never got good at it. So after an hour of playing, I was just getting my ass kicked, and I was like, "Why don't you two just play? Because I don't even want to play anymore." And that's I feel like that's the experience with most fighting games. So I feel like Smash Brothers sells really well because anyone can play it.
Yeah. Sure.
So
I want to see how many Mortal Kombat 10 total sales.
While you look that up, we will move on to our next story. March NPDs. This is from Kit Guru. The NPD has finished tracking hardware and software sales for the game industry throughout March 2019. Overall, hardware sales did decline, although the Nintendo Switch managed to be the most resilient, beating out PS4 and Xbox One last month. Year-on-year, console sales were down 15% compared to March 2018. Software sales saw a similar year-on-year dip, dropping by 11%. Here are the top 10 selling games for March 2019.
Hold on. So, as of April 2019, Mortal Kombat has only sold 10 million units.
That's Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, but that's just, to me, that's super surprising. I thought Mortal Kombat was like, I don't know. I thought Mortal Kombat, I'm not saying it sold as much as Call of Duty. I just thought Mortal Kombat was like Call of Duty. Doesn't matter what you play, but I'm buying Mortal Kombat because I'm a bro. You know what I mean?
I guess. I just feel like
I just thought Mortal Kombat was in that realm, right?
I feel like Mortal Kombat and even to some extent like Street Fighter too. Like I feel like the people who are going to buy that game buy it and then that's it. Whereas like Smash Bros, it's just I feel like Smash Bros is just you get it. A shit ton of people are going to get it as soon as it comes out. And then if you have a Switch and you don't have that many games later on, you might be like, I'll pick up Smash.
I legit thought Mortal Kombat was like a Call of Duty. It's like, yeah, bro, I game, right? I play Call of Duty and Mortal Kombat.
Oh, no.
Like, I literally thought that was the status of Mortal Kombat.
I work with pretty much all like casual gamers, people that play, every night for about an hour, and they're playing Fortnite and Apex and Call of Duty.
They're playing free games.
And while my survey group is obviously biased, and I wouldn't say that this represents every group of casual gamers, none of those people play fighting games.
It's just crazy. I thought Mortal Kombat was in that Call of Duty is like, yeah, bro, let's get down some Call of Duty. Like, it's one of those, like, it's Guitar Hero. Everybody owns Guitar Hero.
That's probably,
or has owned Guitar Hero at some point in time.
That's probably why Mortal Kombat 11 is so exploitative and making their community mad.
Yeah, no
because
shit.
they're not selling 100 million units every year.
Did you see how much it would cost to unlock all the skins?
I want to say it was like
$6,000 over $6,000 to unlock all the skins, or you can just grind it out. And
I was looking at the numbers to grind it, and it would take I think like 8 years, right?
Something like that. And WB and NetherRealm came out and was like, we didn't mean to make it this grindy and exploitative, and it's like it's one of those.
We
things
didn't mean to be caught making it this
like,
grindy and exploitative.
Sure, you didn't.
Yeah. I got to play a little bit of it. We have it at work, and
it looks like a lot of fun.
It's fun.
Be completely honest with you, I've always been the Mortal Kombat / Injustice fan.
Yeah,
and like I've always liked Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
this one looks cool, but I'll never buy it.
It's pretty cool. Visually, it's really cool. All the X-rays and
stuff. If somebody else would buy it, I would more than be happy to play somebody. Trey.
I will not buy Mortal Kombat. Sorry. I make a lot of impulsive game buying decisions, but never Mortal Kombat. Top 10 selling games for March 2019. Number 10, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Number 9, Yoshi's Crafted World. Number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Jesus Christ,
I know.
Dude. What the fuck,
Still hanging
man?
on.
Number 7, NBA 2K19.
So this is in 2019. And in 2020, we're going to get the new consoles, and Rockstar is going to re-release GTA 5 again. It's going to shoot right back up in the charts. I guarantee. What the fuck, man?
Remember whenever we had high hopes for Red Dead Online?
Number 6, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Online actually it's pretty fucking good still.
Number 6, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, they're adding some cool shit.
Selling.
Yeah.
There's no like heist or anything.
Also, to shit on that statement you just made, Grand Theft Auto 5 Online was not good until like 2 years later.
So bad.
I mean, it's true. It is true.
So holding Red Dead Redemption to a different standard this early is unfair.
To an extent. It's also one of those things like you made GTA Online, learn from what you did in GTA Online, and don't have Red Dead Online shit for 2 years.
But again, it was an extra but it was decent 2 years after release.
Sure.
So on top of like developing the base development time, you're adding an additional 2 years plus 6 years for it to get to the point where it is now.
Sure.
Like yes, you should learn from your mistakes, but also like that's what at that point 15 years of development.
Yeah,
probably being a little bit over the top.
I get, but it's also one of those things. It's like don't release an online mode with only 6 missions.
True, but
give us something more than that.
But it's not. But it's also not like they're charging you for it, right?
No, that's true. Yeah, that's
like you're buying a game that's going to keep you occupied for 60, over 100 hours,
60 to 100 hours,
and
20 for some people.
Yeah. So I have a hard time being mad about this.
Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree.
Not being mad, but like having
Justin's an asshole.
No.
Yeah, me.
There's already 2 negative people on this podcast.
Of everyone on the podcast, I'm the asshole.
There's already 2 negative people on this podcast. We don't need a third. Thanks.
Yeah, Justin.
Number 5, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 4, Devil May Cry 5. Number 3, MLB 19, The Show. Number 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And number 1, The Division 2. Just a couple of interesting things from the bottom 10, because it is a top 20 list. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is at 20. Borderlands is at 19.
Of course it is.
Just says Borderlands, period. Far Cry New Dawn is number 15.
People probably rush out and bought that one when they announced
just like a little a resurgence sort of thing.
Anthem is at 11.
Good for them. I
That's-
mean, it's still selling.
That's surprising.
It's not though, because it's still a good game.
No,
The
I'm not saying like people shouldn't buy it. Well, maybe. I'm just saying that it's surprising that with everything that's going on, like it's still selling.
I think you get
that was March though.
sure.
When did it come out? March? No, February.
February 22nd.
Yeah.
I still
Still the
think,
honeymoon
and I will
phase.
stand by the statement. I think you get more $60 from Anthem than you get from something like Uncharted. I personally think you do. Because you can finish an Uncharted game in 8 hours, 10 hours. It's fun. It's a cool experience.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
But I personally think you get more for the $60 from Anthem than you do from Division, especially now, especially a few months afterwards, where like the bugs you ran into in week 1 don't really exist anymore. There's still in-game stuff to do. There's still a progression system.
Yeah, but I
just
feel like
think
that's
you
a
get
different.
more.
Like I feel like you're comparing two totally different games.
I like
I'm just
Anthem.
comparing how much
like an
content you get for $60. That's all I'm doing.
I like Anthem, and if Last of Us still costs $60, and someone was like, "I want to buy Last of Us" or "I want to buy Anthem,"
I didn't say Last of Us.
I know, but like
I said Uncharted.
There's
a big difference to me.
But I feel like Last of Us has more of a wide appeal than Uncharted does. Like I feel like
Sure, but there's a reason I chose Uncharted.
Anyway, I'm going to choose The Last of Us.
Well, then I'm going to agree with you 100%.
And you know what? I would say if it was Uncharted 4, I would probably still
Didn't
make
say
that
I
argument.
said Uncharted, just in general.
Well, if you're comparing a 10-year-old game to a new game, yeah, sure.
No, I'm just Uncharted in general. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Okay, well then I'm choosing specifically 4. I would still say if Uncharted 4 was $60 and Anthem was $60, and you'd get more for your money out of Uncharted 4.
I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. I
never
think
played Uncharted,
it's more widely accepted. But as far as content goes, I think you get more out of Anthem. than you
In
do.
terms of quality of the time that you put into the game, you get way more out of any Naughty Dog game than you do out of Anthem. And I like Anthem.
Sure. Once again, I agree with you. But I said content, like how much time you can potentially put into Anthem compared to.
I feel like when you're talking about content, though, quality has to be taken into account.
Sure, and I'm also taking quality into account 2 months after launch. I'm talking right now.
Yeah,
like
no,
if you were to log into Anthem right now, where most of the bugs that we encountered at the beginning are gone, quality of life changes, i.e. getting to the forge whenever you need to. Hell, they even added in this last patch, like anywhere in the world now, you can go straight to the forge and start changing your shit out. Kind of nice, not necessary, but it's nice. So I'm talking like Anthem right now. If you were to go spend $40 on it because it's on sale, because it sucks apparently, it's a better value. To me, it's a better value.
Yeah, no,
but I'm also a huge looter shooter.
I still
right,
think
that's your thing.
that's my
I
thing.
still think the minute by minute and almost any other game I love is better than the minute to minute and Anthem. And I like Anthem, and I think Anthem has a lot of potential. But it's hard for me to be like, you will love this game more than you'll love Uncharted.
I think the hardest thing for me is like the lasting
That's also not what I
taste that
said,
it ends
though.
in your mouth. You know.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're going to love Anthem more than you're going to love Uncharted.
You're going to get more from Anthem than you'll get it from Uncharted.
Yes, I believe that from a time spent in game, you will get more from Anthem than you do from Uncharted.
Yeah, no, I see your opinion. I completely disagree. What were you saying, Justin?
No, I was just saying, like, I feel like for me, it all comes down to like your final like feelings about the game. Like Anthem, especially right now, is just there's so many problems with it, so it's like it's hard to see a lot of like the positives with it. Whereas like if you play like a game like Uncharted, as long as it like plays well and it's fun and it ends well, like it's
But Uncharted doesn't play
it's good.
well.
I mean, I haven't played Uncharted,
Yeah,
so I'm
Uncharted
assuming.
does not play well.
But
It never has.
yeah,
It's about as bad as Last of Us.
Rumor mill.
is that all of MPDs?
That was all of MPDs.
There's nothing else? Like, there's no like little tidbits that you always have?
I said the tidbits at the beginning, and then you guys were talking about other stuff.
Oh.
I was not. Play it back.
Division 2 is the second best-selling game this year so far.
Number 1 is Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's very true, which is also very surprising to me.
Was Kingdom Hearts 3 anywhere in there?
Kingdom Hearts 2. Sorry, Trey,
Nope.
not 3. 2. 3.
3.
You said Kingdom Hearts 2.
No,
I said Kingdom Hearts 2.
You said
Nobody
Kingdom
said
Hearts
2 until
I think
just
I
then.
just said 2, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Kingdom Hearts was on it. I closed the list. I don't know.
No, it was
gone.
on it. Well, it might have been in the top
It wasn't in the top 10.
That's what I was thinking. Top 20.
Yeah, I don't know if it was lower in the 20s. Rumor mill. A new report by Bloomberg suggests that a new, cheaper model of the Switch will release by June of this year, with a modest upgrade hitting stores sometime later this year. We've talked about that before, but continue to get different people agreeing that that's going to happen. So
Sure, it's fine.
the more exciting rumor mill. There is a world premiere event for a DC Comics and Epic Games project tomorrow that was teased with an image saying Outlaws on a city background. Chris, explain.
Nobody in this room got it except for Trey, and I'm disappointed in both of you.
But I'm proud of you, Trey.
So yeah, like I saw it pop up on Twitter, and it's just a picture of the skyline of Gotham City at night. We know it's Gotham because dead center of the picture is Wayne Tower, and it just says Outlaws across it. It's very similar font.
It's pretty much the
Very
exact font.
similar font, yeah, to the 52 reboot, after the 52 DC reboot of Red Hood and the Outlaws. So take with it what you will. Could it be a Red Hood game? Sure, it would make sense because they set up Red Hood so prominently in Arkham Knight. But a lot of people too have pointed out maybe it's like a Suicide Squad thing, which would be fine as long as Red Hood's
I
in
think
it.
of that.
You know, counterpoint to that point.
Because I always thought Red Hood would be a cool Suicide Squad member.
He would,
Is he
he
not?
would be.
No,
Like in the
he
comic?
never has been.
Counterpoint to that point, if you're trying to sell a game and it's a Suicide Squad game, calling it Outlaws
Sure.
is really stupid. Because
I
most,
agree.
like, I mean, we have two people in this room. If it had said Suicide Squad, they would have been like, yeah, I know what that
Got it.
is.
Sure.
But
Or
Outlaws,
even if it was like a different color scheme, like they chose red for a
Oh,
reason.
that
Yeah.
Outlaws
Like if it was
is
like that,
very
if it was
red.
like that green and purple,
Yeah.
like very Joker, Harley
like,
Quinn esque.
I feel like if you're gonna go Suicide Squad, you don't reach for the most obscure fucking title in the
Sure.
world. But what do I know? You know,
Yeah,
I think y'all are right.
being the extreme fucking fangirl that I am when it comes to Jason Todd and Red Hood, I'm pretty pumped about
well,
this.
especially since he is an undeserved. He's undeservedly like forgotten about all
Sure,
the
yeah.
time. Like when you're talking about mass appeal characters, if you can make Harley Quinn appeal to everyone, there is no reason why people wouldn't love
You
Jason Todd.
you can't take somebody like, I don't know, who's hot in Hollywood right now. Like who's like hot, like just a dude that's like beyond hot.
Are you talking about for Red Hood?
No, yeah, it's like let's take
Well,
No, I'm just talking like hottest dude you can
Michael
think of in Hollywood
Fassbender.
right now. No, he's too old.
Wait, who's Michael Fassbender?
Yeah, he's Magneto from X-Men.
Oh, Michael Fassbender's a good one.
No, he's not.
I was thinking of the guy that played Superman. I feel like he would make a good Jason
Brown,
Todd.
Brown and Routh.
Nope.
No, what was it?
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
No, he's too big.
I don't know why. I just saw the Dark Phoenix.
Anyways, what are you
trailer
getting
yesterday.
at?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ryan Gosling.
Sure, there we go. The reason I don't understand the appeal of Harley Quinn personally, I just don't get it. I literally don't understand it because she is a female who is consistently being gaslighted by a character like the Joker.
She's in an abusive relationship.
She's the most abusive relationship possible.
An abusive relationship that a lot of people on the internet just like idolize.
Nobody
for
cares
some
about.
reason.
Yeah.
And it baffles me in the age that we live in 2019 how Harley Quinn has gotten over as a character. I don't understand it. But then you got like, you could make him as hot as possible.
No.
I don't care. Jason Todd is probably a pretty fucking great looking dude. We're talking like Brendan Urie status of great looking, right?
Yeah.
And you have Brendan Urie walk in with a fucking red hood, take it off, and he's just like fucking, yeah. Like
no,
you just make him insanely
like,
hot.
well,
and
if you
he's
look
got
at-
he's got daddy issues. He's got trust issues. I mean, he's the perfect Hollywood
He's damaged
heartthrob.
goods.
But like, I'm gonna name 4 characters right now that everyone knows and pretty much any basic bitch nerd loves, and
It's
Red Hood
basic bitch.
and Red Hood is better than all of them. You got Harley Quinn, who I already named.
Sure, 100%.
You have Deathstroke. You have Deadpool.
100%.
You
What
have
was the
Boba
third, What was
Fett.
that third one?
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Deadpool, sure.
And you have Boba Fett, right?
Deadpool's a
Everyone
stretch.
knows.
No, Deadpool's that's
Every,
like,
It's just
everyone
'cause
knows
it's
those
Ryan
characters.
Reynolds now. That's
They're
why it's a
gun
stretch.
toting, sort of like middle of
Sure.
the ground,
Sure.
anti-heroes that are all kind of badass, but also like they shoot people. It's really cool. Those are all characters that everyone knows and loves. The fact that no one has been like, you know what, I think Red Hood could be that character. He has a bat symbol on his chest. He's basically Batman with a fishbowl and a gun. Like it's fucking cool.
yeah.
I
It's
just
pretty
don't
cool.
understand how
You
it,
also
no one makes it
kick
work.
you also kick in Dick in there and just fucking like have Jason Todd and Dick just like have whatever
Have a gay relationship.
Yeah,
That was a really weird sentence just now.
Oh,
You
sorry,
kick
Dick
in
Grayson.
Dick.
Sorry,
Yeah.
and then I'm sorry, you kick in Dick Grayson, and you have Todd and Grayson have this weird like frenemy bromance throughout the entire thing. It's like it's fucking Hollywood and video game and just everything gold.
Well,
Yeah, no.
you know who could
Dick's Jason.
You know who
Now
could,
we're getting into weird fan fiction.
you know who could be Red Hood that I could actually see doing this?
I'm not talking. I don't care.
Who? Just say the name.
Jensen Ackles.
Why do you ask him when you know he's going to say no?
Because he likes Jensen
No,
Ackles.
he
Who's
just doesn't
Jensen
have the
Ackles?
look.
I don't
He's
even know who that
Dean
is.
from Supernatural. He's not the tall dude from
God.
Supernatural.
But he's already like he's done stuff as Red Hood too.
He doesn't know. He's got to like dark hair. He's got to have the dark hair.
It's a video game.
You even have the gray streak in the dark hair because of the Lazarus Pit.
Remember when they brought him back and he was like a redhead when fucking Grant Morrison was writing him?
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was terrible.
It was a bad
Yeah,
time.
it was horrible.
It was a bad time.
But again, to back up my thing, also some of the best Batman arcs featured Jason Todd.
Well, I mean-
Hush wasn't necessarily like a Jason Todd story, but he was the main.
Batman is so boring that his best stories require Dick Grayson or Jason
Sure,
Todd
the
to be
Bat
there
family in
to
general.
make it
Sure.
worthwhile.
Battle for the Cowl, probably one of the greatest Batman arcs ever. Batman wasn't even in it. It was Jason Todd and Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Like
Also,
it
that was another bad time for Jason Todd because he was still crazy redhead Jason
Sure,
Todd.
yeah. But then even Death in the Family, when Batman was like, when Joker was turning the family on Batman, Jason Todd was extremely prominent because Jason Todd and Joker have the history. God damn it, it's so good.
Yep. Quick saves. Another Persona announcement. Atlus and Koei Tecmo have announced Persona 5 Scramble for Nintendo Switch and PS4. The game appears to be an action RPG in the style of the Dynasty Warrior games, but aside from a 1-minute trailer, not much is known about this game. Super Mario Maker 2 will release on Switch on June 28th. And last but certainly not least, several NFL and college football players attended a private Activision event to test out the new Call of Duty and may have revealed the title of the 2019 game. A video was uploaded to Reddit from one of the players' Instagrams that may have shared the newest title while playing the upcoming game. The words Modern Warfare 4 and kill streaks can be heard, leading many to believe that the next Call of Duty will be titled Modern Warfare 4, which has been rumored and asked for from fans for quite some time. That's a lot of F's.
What if it's called Call of Duty Kill Streak and Modern Warfare is like the new
I kinda
saying
hope
for
so.
when you kill a lot of people.
I feel like that's a cool
Modern
name.
Warfare.
That's
right?
a cool name, Call of Duty Kill Streaks.
Sure.
I mean, but you got to be real careful about marketing on that because, like, that could also be like underwear streaks, which is not good.
That's where your mind goes when you hear streaks.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
streaks
sure.
is not a commonly used word.
you're right. You're right. Aside from like kill streaks,
Streaks,
Yeah.
streakers,
Streaks is
kill
about-
streaks.
Yeah, so most of the time when
Streaking.
streaks come up in conversation, it's some girl I know talking about having to do her boyfriend's laundry and there being streaks in there.
you know it happens.
Interesting. Why don't they wipe their ass?
I don't know.
Like, don't be afraid to use more than you're used to. Like,
Right.
get it clean.
Yeah,
You know what
or
I mean?
use wet.
I don't know.
Naps.
One day,
No, because the wet nats can clog up toilets.
They
one
have
day
special ones that
I
you
wanna
flush.
be
Oh, do they have that now?
Yeah.
one. We
What?
nothing. I want to
Is
say
that
something.
what those things are down?
Yes.
Like, oh.
I was like, we
I don't-
literally have those in our house.
I don't like the wet ones.
But I was like, am I revealing too much information?
No, we have because the toilet paper's right
You don't
here,
just
right?
use the wet ones. You alternate.
No, I understand that, but I just don't like the feeling of the wet ones.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's like I just don't like the feeling of them. I understand that they can get. I understand.
Chris doesn't like getting his button wet.
Yeah, I don't think they get you cleaner.
I think they do.
That's what I mean. You just use more toilet paper. You can get yourself nice and clean with normal toilet paper.
You're gonna rub
No, I
yourself
mean,
dry.
yes.
No, you don't. I mean, it's not like you're digging in there. You just freaking.
I'm so sorry I brought this up.
See, whenever I saw your face change in my mind, what happened was like you're like, shit. Are we not supposed to be flushing those? Like I pictured you having some at the
'Cause
house, and
'cause
you're just
it's-
like, wait, we don't flush them?
I don't know, because like I will go until there is literally nothing on a piece of toilet paper. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
like
get it.
It looks as good as it did before I run
He gets
ran
some
it.
super glue and puts it back on the roll.
Puts it in his pocket. He's like, this one's still good for later.
That's funny.
This is a nose toilet paper now.
See, that's whenever we're playing D&D and he wipes things off of the battle mat. That's where that comes
Yeah,
from.
like I just fold that one up and stick it in my pocket for later.
He dabs it on his tongue to get a little wet first. Good stuff.
I was gonna say it's salty, but I don't know if poop tastes salty. I don't know what
Ew.
poop tastes like.
Justin, what are you
What
playing
do you
this
think
week?
poop tastes like?
What do I think poop tastes like? I don't know. I didn't play anything this week.
Really?
Yeah, I've been.
He's
Still haven't
never
seen
gonna,
Red Dead.
He's never gonna finish
No.
Red Dead.
We recorded the podcast though.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was really fun.
Since we're talking about it, do you want to fill people in on what specifically you mean by the podcast?
I can plug a podcast now.
Yeah. Although,
Sure.
like the plugging is pretty much going to happen for you guys. From
Yeah,
this
it's
point
true.
out.
So yeah, it should. I mean, it should be uploaded in this. If you get the Twin Stick
If-
podcast, you should get this one as well.
If you guys are familiar with our history, we have a friend named Rich who previously did a podcast called Read Between the Panels.
Yes.
Podcast about comic books and movies and
Geekdom,
television shows.
basically.
Yeah, sort of more broad than what we talk about. And for a while now, we've been talking about getting Justin and Rich together because Rich's co-host kind of went their own ways. But we wanted to get Justin and Rich together because we know Justin would have a really good conversation about it, and Rich wants to have that conversation. We also needed a third co-host, so we got Taylor involved too, who is a friend of ours from D&D.
Yeah, and it went really well. So we're basically doing like a soft reset, or it's kind of like a hard reset.
Is it still called Read Between the Panels?
It's not. So it's going to be called Eat, Geek, Sleep, Repeat.
Okay.
I can't believe you let Rich choose the title.
I mean, I like it.
100% a Rich title.
It was definitely suggested by him.
Would you like to know why that's a Rich title?
Yes, go ahead.
Because Brock Lesnar, who used to be in the WWE, had a catchphrase called "Eat, Sleep." What was it? What was his
Greek,
thing?
because he was only into
No,
Greek
it was
women.
"Eat, Sleep." Brock.
Well, that's a pretty
Les-
common. That's a pretty common like phrase, I
Yeah,
guess. But we switched it to where it's like eat, and then
Conquer. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat.
I feel like that's like it's the whole like keep calm and blank on.
Yeah, no,
like
Rebel
you just substitute anything.
It is Rich referencing Brock Lesnar.
Rebel
There we
FM
go.
I
was
guarantee you.
Rebel FM's website was eat-sleep-game.com.
Sure,
Yeah.
I get it. I get all
But-
of the references. I'm just letting you know, Rich is using it because of Brock Lesnar.
Was the name of the podcast a reference to some wrestler? Yes.
Damn it, Rich! I was defending you. Anyways, but but creativity struck. We switched it so it's eat, geek, sleep, repeat.
So
That's good.
original.
That's
Eat, geek,
super
sleep, repeat.
original.
Very good. Yeah, I
yeah,
like
because
it.
it's you eat, then you're a geek throughout the day, then you sleep, and then you repeat. I was like, why are you going to
good.
sleep and then be a geek?
So
Doesn't
we
make
all
any sense.
we all know you guys hate Justin, but if you hate Rich and Taylor too, let us know.
That's not true.
You're
I
not gonna
shined
hate. You're not
on
gonna
this
hate. You're not
podcast.
gonna hate Rich.
But
if you hate Taylor, let us know. Trey and I'll take over. I'm just kidding.
the important thing for all of you guys to know is that because we're a smaller podcast and because Read Between the Panels was a smaller podcast as well, there's not really a reason for us to do separate podcasts feeds for them.
Especially right now.
Yeah. So the plan is right now is to attach Eat, Geek, Sleep, Repeat to
Good
to
luck
our
with that one.
podcast feed.
It's just E EGSR.
EGSR.
Okay, that's good.
EGSR, we're going to attach that to the podcast feed for the foreseeable future. So if you guys aren't interested in it, you can just delete it. But you should at least give it a listen because
Agreed.
going back and listening to our Twin Stick Guardian stuff that we did, it was a lot. It was really good.
wanna see
And
if Rich
Rich
gets
is a
this.
cool person to talk to.
Now that Rich is in here, I want to see if he gets this.
Yeah, my co-host Rich.
Yeah. Rich is here for D&D, and so it was convenient to settle an argument
Yes.
to call him in.
This
Yeah,
got leaked
I'm
today,
sad I
Rich.
lost.
So what are some of the topics that you covered in your first episode of EGSR?
Well, since we got a little bit of a late start, we had to cover the season premiere of Game of Thrones. So we did episode 1 just real quick, then we covered episode 2, and then some quick feelings on Endgame as well.
Okay, cool. Did you get it?
No.
Wow. Chris,
Wow, that's
I think-
surprising.
I think this determines that I'm the best friend you have.
It's true.
Yeah.
Don't give him that.
You threw me off with the Epic Games.
How did they throw you off? It's an Epic game. Arkham Knight is developed in Unreal Engine, which is why it's in Epic Games. More than likely, this is WB or Rocksteady's new thing they've been working on, and it could be a game based on Red Hood. Just saying.
Anyway,
Oh yeah, pretty much.
But it was very good. It was a good conversation. We did a good job at keeping it really short. Like the
How short
now,
was it?
what?
It's good.
145.
That's better than what we do.
That's what I'm saying.
that's not true. We've been hitting pretty close to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Now with our new targets, yeah. Now
Better than
it's
what we did.
3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
You
guys
say
should
that,
check
but
it
it
out.
was like never a chore to record a 3-hour podcast.
No, that's true. But now I can't even imagine
That's cool.
doing that.
Did you guys just do over Discord?
What do you mean?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did it.
You
Yeah,
just sit there and
Google
sleep
Hangouts.
most of the time.
It's
Don't
Google
act like
Hangouts.
this is a big chore for you, Everett.
So yeah, check it out.
I-
And the audio quality should be better in the future. We had a ton of technical difficulties doing a Talking Heads podcast. Basically, it was a lot more difficult than just meeting up in person and recording on mics.
I'm gonna go next. So I finished Claptastic Voyage. I will say I still think that Claptastic Voyage is my favorite Borderlands DLC. However, the part about that DLC that sucks is the final boss is fucking the worst experience I've ever had in a video game. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a raid boss, and so I was like trying to solo him, and I ended up beating him, but it was like a 3-hour affair to beat
Maybe you were the first one to ever beat him by yourself.
Dude, and you know the worst thing about it is that I went up to look up online and see how other people did it. No one made videos about it because no one played Borderlands the pre-sequel apparently.
It's true.
So
That's surprising. Not even one.
It's not surprising at all.
yeah, I mean there were some, but they weren't
Yeah.
good. It
Because
wasn't
they
like,
played it and they got to like the second mission. They were all, wait, I need oxygen bubbles? What?
Yeah, no.
I can jump super high? What? Why?
All of the things that I hate about video games are in that fight. But every moment leading up to that, and then sort of the conclusion of the story after that is really good. So I started playing Borderlands 2, and I was like, man, I'm gonna play Maya this time because
on
I've never played
PS4?
Maya
On PS4?
on PS4. Yeah.
Why didn't you tell us these things?
I told you guys last week I'm playing Borderlands the pre-sequel, and I think I'm going to play Borderlands 2 next.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to play Borderlands 2 next. Doesn't say, hey, I'm going to play Borderlands 2 at this time.
Okay, but like, how often do I use definitive language about anything I'm going to do?
Well, there's your problem.
I feel like you should know me well enough that when I say I think I'm going to do something, I usually
Yeah,
do
but I'll
it.
play Borderlands 2 again.
Do you have it on PS4?
No.
But anyway, I started playing as Maya. Played for about an hour and a half as Maya, and I was like, man, I miss Zero. So immediately switched back to Zero.
Oh, I like playing as Maya.
It's nothing against Maya. It's that I just love Zero so much.
Krieg for the win.
Zero is like my favorite character ever in Borderlands. Although I have learned a lot about myself in my time playing.
That's like $20 for the Handsome Collection on PS4. That's new.
Yeah, I bought it for
Wow.
15
What the
after
fuck?
the Borderlands 3 announcement. But
What the fuck?
I figured something out about myself because I was really torn. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play as Flak or Papa Zane when Borderlands 3 comes out. Actually, I'm sorry, Daddy Zane. But I determined that in Borderlands, like, I am just not a fan of having other things kill for me. That's why I don't really like playing Axton or Wilhelm or Jack.
Oh, sweet. So
So
you're not going to
do
play
the
Flat.
Beastmaster.
So I'm going to play Zane. I'm going to play Daddy Zane.
That means I can play with Flat.
Again, he has the Daddy Twink thing going on, so I feel like it was a match made in heaven.
Daddy Twink.
That means I can play Flag.
Yeah. So Zane is unless he's just awful and doesn't do any of the things I think he's gonna do, I'm gonna be playing him.
Cool.
But also, like, I can't imagine playing as anyone else in that game because I don't want to play in a mech suit the whole game, and I don't really care about siren powers. I mean, like Maya. I mean, Lilith is actually probably the siren that I would want to play the most if I ever went back to Borderlands. But yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm having a lot of fun, and it's just relaxing. And I played that game a million times, and so like hearing the jokes that I knew come up again. Like, I love that joke at the beginning when Claptrap is talking about how much he and Sir Hammerlock are good friends, and he says, "We're like two cannibal midgets in a fat guy's ribcage." I totally forgot about that line, and so it's like 3:00 in the morning, and I'm playing through this, and I just start laughing like a maniac, and it's just moments like that like I get surprised.
The first level, the entire snow level, all the way up until you fight the Firestarter guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every line of dialogue seems
just so good.
amazing.
It's good.
Yeah, when you're like, there's at one point you're just kind of walking from biodome to biodome.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack comes on. He's like, "Hey, man." He's like eating pretzels. How's it
Oh,
going?
these pretzels
Yeah, I love
suck.
Yeah, these pretzels suck. Hey, I just want to let you know I bought a pony. I named it Butt Stallion. It's after you. Like, what?
Yeah. No, it's
It's good
so
shit, man.
It's also like I forgot, like Claptrap is a character that I think Borderlands sort of conditions its players to hate Claptrap because the characters are so mean to him.
Really? I love Claptrap.
I forget that I love Claptrap.
He's so good.
But like
It's like a lovable
but
hate.
every player is like every character in the game is so mean to him. I think by the time that you finish Borderlands 2, you're like, Claptrap, you idiot, you suck. But like I forgot how fun it is at the beginning of the game where he's like, you're my
great.
minion. Like, come on,
It's
minion.
great. And then you get to Sanctuary and he has his birthday party. Nobody shows up, and you're like, oh man, poor dude.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I did do the introductory quest where they show you like how to transfer items between characters, and he's like, "You're gonna collect 150,000 rocks and climb to the top of the mountain and give me a high five." And it's just like this list of things, and then the cardboard falls down behind you and it reveals the stash. It's so good.
It's good shit, man. Even at the end, he's still funny. The freaking
Hey,
door.
Everett, do you want to play Borderlands 2 with me?
The doors open, and it stairs. No.
Yes.
Yeah, you get to the stairs on fucking.
The last level,
no.
last fucking thing
It
up to the
happened-
vault.
There's a
It happens
there's
at
a
the beginning of
stairs
the
joke at
game
the
thing.
beginning
Oh, there
too.
is?
At the
Yeah,
beginning,
okay.
you're like taking him to get his boat back, and he's like, "We're gonna do anything we can to get this." And there's a set of stairs.
Oh,
and he's
that's
like,
right.
Stairs? I can't climb stairs.
It's pretty good. It's
I
pretty
love
good.
Claptrap, man. I even loved it in the pre-sequel. Playing as Claptrap is a shit ton of fun.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been just having fun, killing things, getting awesome headshots, trying to do all the badass challenges for the trophy.
how many badass challenges do you need for the trophy on PS4?
I'm fairly certain it's just like the gun ones and the ability ones. There's a couple of like co-op ones that you need. I don't think you need any of the zone specific ones.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But
Those
Everett
suck
says
in-
no.
Yeah.
In PS3, the zone specific one sucks.
Well, when I
like
think
they fucking suck.
I had tried to platinum it on either PS3 or I had tried to get all the trophies on Xbox 360, and I think I gave up because I thought you needed the zone specific ones, and I had all of them except for the one where you have to get the looter bot out of the level when you're assaulting the Angel's Keep, and I had missed that one. And in order to get it, you can only get it that one time. That zone gets closed off afterwards. So in order to get it, you have to like restart the game and then get back to that point.
Oh,
And I
that
was
sucks.
like,
No,
fuck
there's
that.
save points, don't they have like
No.
manual save points in
Nope.
Borderlands? I don't remember.
No.
Damn, that's
all checkpoint.
Yeah, that sucks.
So.
Krieg though, man, such a good character.
Yep.
Chris, what are you playing?
A little bit of Division.
Mike.
Oh, a little bit of Division. I wish I had friends to play that game with. It'd be a lot better. But that game's fucking phenomenal. And Whitney and I have been playing the shit out of Fallout 76.
You've been playing the shit out of it on your own, too.
Yeah,
Every time I
like-
walk in the living room, that's all you're playing.
I think that is a Fallout game for certain Fallout fans. I don't think you're ever going to like that game, Trey.
I don't think I
And
will
I
either.
know you're a Fallout fan, but I do not think you're ever going to
No,
like it.
because I don't care about the exploration. I care
Right.
about the story.
And
NPCs.
that's what makes Fallout 76 great is every time I turn a corner, a miscellaneous quest pops up and it's go investigate this thing. It's nothing mind blowing. It's nothing amazing.
But you always got something to do.
I've
some
always
sort
got
of
something to
progression.
do, and the map is fucking huge. Like it's fucking enormous. And of course, this is non-debatable. Playing with somebody else is always fun.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're playing.
Doesn't matter what you're playing. It's just more fun with somebody else. And with Whitney, it's just a ton of fun because we'll just go around and just feel like badasses in the wasteland. And it's a shit ton of fun.
How romantic.
Yeah, no, it's fun. We yes, it is because I built my camp settlement, and then she can come in and actually build. So we built our own little house in Fallout 76.
That's cute.
And every time I log in, it's there, and we have like our things, and she's got like a little reading room, and she's putting plants everywhere. It's like
She's got pops. I don't know how.
yeah, I
but
don't know how she got pops in this
Half
game.
the house is just piled up with collectibles.
Chris is like, I logged in one day and Toulouse was there.
I wouldn't be surprised she'd figure it out. But it's a ton of fun. It's and it's the best part about it is it embraces the. Number one, it's fixed. Like I think for the most part, from launch till now, it's a much better game. There's still things in it. It's like what, I was telling Trey, the stash space in Fallout 76 is not item based; it's weight based.
Yeah, no, we had that conversation on the podcast last week where I
Which
said it was
is
weight based. Chris was like, no, it's item, and then he learned.
which is just fucking stupid. So, once you hit like level 25 to 30, it's just 30 minutes every 2 or 3 hours. You're in your stash trying to move shit around, and it's just fucking annoying as hell. it has the Fallout bugs where it's like I definitely shot something and the shots aren't registering, but that's in every Bethesda game that has shooting. Hell, even Elder Scrolls had that with bows. It's like I would shoot something and it would even go to the kill cam and it would just kind of like phase right through their head. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
They dodged it.
Seriously. There's the Bethesda bugs all over the place. But again, it's just a shit ton of fun. And my point being is that this game very much embraces the wackiness of Fallout New Vegas. If at the beginning of Fallout New Vegas, there is a choice. It's like, do you want to enable, is it called Wacky Wasteland? What was it called? At the beginning of Fallout 76?
It's
I mean, New Vegas?
I don't know if that's what it was called, but it was basically like you can choose an ability or something that just makes random things appear. It sort of makes it seem like your character's crazy.
Yeah, it makes the most random things happen in Fallout New Vegas, i.e. alien spaceships crashing, old grandmas wielding shotguns just running around everywhere. Weird shit happens in Fallout New Vegas if you choose the specific
And this is
perk.
like a vanilla, like you just take it?
Yeah, New Vegas, yeah, 100%.
Wild Wasteland.
Wild Wasteland. Just weird shit happens in the wasteland. And if you don't choose this, that stuff doesn't happen. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. And I think Fallout 76 embraces that because there's just weird shit happening in the wasteland. And it makes it even, to the development of that game's credit, the fact that there's not NPCs in that game, it makes those moments even better.
Yeah.
Because I don't think some of these moments in 76 could happen with NPCs. They have to be weird robots or weird super mutants or just weird fucking shit happening in that game.
And I feel like that works really well with 76 because you don't have, you're not detracting from like
A serious narrative.
Exactly.
Right, 100%, yes.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Yes.
It's like you're just an adventurer, and hell, sometimes you're going to come across weird stuff.
Exactly.
One of the occurrences of Wacky or Wild Wasteland
In New
Fallout
Vegas?
is this encounter will only appear with Rex and company. At some point, Rex will speak to you with an Aru. You then determine that little Johnny may have fallen into a well, the location of which is marked on your Pip-Boy's world map. The well contains a child skeleton, a mole rat, an Abilene Kid LE BB gun, 200 BBs, a rawhide cowboy hat, as well as a super stim pack.
Nice.
It's weird shit like that. And you find weird shit like that. You stumble upon corpses where it's like, what the fuck even happened here?
Yeah.
You come across a safe, and on the top of the safe it says the gnomes hold the key, and you're like, what the hell does that even mean? And 20 minutes later, you're in a completely separate part of the world, and there's 3 garden gnomes holding a fucking key. It's like, oh, that makes sense. But like random shit like that, and like I said, this wackiness wouldn't happen if there were NPCs in the game because it just wouldn't. I think if there was NPCs in the game would feel a lot more serious, like Fallout 4 did.
Yeah.
The fact that there's not is really, like I said, to the credit of not having NPCs in the game, this works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they figured out something to just capitalize on.
I still wish there was NPCs in the game, but it's just those weird ass moments. Like I ran into Mothman the other day. Never, okay. You'd heard about it, and like I didn't know what it was, but I ran into him, and it was a terrifying fight because it's a giant moth with big red eyes, and it like shakes its wings, and it makes this terrifying like noise when its wings are shaking. You're freaking the fuck out trying to fight this thing. There was an event where you had to travel all across a map because something called Sheep Squatch was terrorizing Appalachia. Like, what the fuck is Sheep Squatch?
The legendary Sheep Squatch.
Apparently, it was a dude who thought Sheep Squatch was real, so real that he created a robot Sheep Squatch that went rogue and started terrorizing Appalachia.
Oh, so he created Sheep Squatch.
He created his own Sheep Squatch because he was so convinced it was real, he wanted to make it real. Yeah. That wouldn't work in Fallout 4, man. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't.
Right.
And it does in 76, and it's a lot of fun. This isn't a game we're going to play for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course not. But for right now,
it might be for Whitney.
Yeah, maybe. But for right now, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's almost like those crazy stories seem like stuff. If you were playing Fallout 4, you would stumble upon like Sheep Squatch, like a rusted old Sheep Squatch, and it's like, oh, like part of the lore is like this.
Sure.
Thing. Now you're getting to like live through all those just crazy
something
weird
like
things.
that. And I think Bethesda is now at a point where they have got the game stable enough to where they're adding things finally.
Yeah, no.
Like the Sheep Squad event. In the first week of May, they're adding backpacks to the game where you can go and find new backpack plans craft different types of backpacks for
they extend
They do extend your carry weight, small to medium to large, and they're all different. And you could find the plans to do all that stuff. So it's like I said, it's getting better. It's not for everyone. I wouldn't say, hey, if you're a Fallout fan, go buy it now.
Well,
but it's definitely, Whitney and I are having a shit ton of fun with it.
In terms of like what Bethesda has to show off at E3, I would expect them to have something big for Fallout 76.
I would hope so, yeah. And they just added this last update. They just added their first dungeon, which Whitney and I haven't got to do yet because I don't think she's probably high enough level, and I don't think I am yet. But once I'm a high enough level, we want to go do it's a dungeon. I don't know what that means in 76, but I'm interested to know what it is. It sounds cool.
Cool.
All right, guys, we got to end it there. If you want to find all of the links to follow us online, just check the show's description and keep an eye out on your feed in the next couple days for an episode of Eat, Geek, Sleep, Repeat.
Nailed it. EGSR.
All right.
There you go.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.